Hi there, heroes! For today's adventure, Henry Kathman will be taking you on a journey to the world of coalition mapping. So get out your graph paper and let's get started.
Coalition mapping is a concept that has been around for a while, with roots in all sorts of political organizing. Essentially, this is an exercise where a group takes stock of the different parties and individuals that care about a certain cause and categorize them based on their relationship to your organization and the cause in question. The goal of this exercise is to better understand where your coalition is within the wider context of an issue, in order to more effectively identify where to put your energy when organizing. Here are the steps for one of the methods you can use to make a basic coalition map. For the first step, draw a graph with two axes. On the x-axis, it is measuring a spectrum between opposition and supporters, while the y-axis measures how strongly the group supports or opposes your goal. If a group spends a lot of time and resources on an issue, it's safe to say they will be higher on the y-axis. And if someone is more apathetic in their actions or has less power, they're going to be lower. For the sake of an example, you are a member of an environmental advocacy group living in a town next to a coal power plant. As someone who cares about the damage of climate change, you and the group are wanting to push the town into adopting more renewable energy sources and divesting from the coal plant. With your coalition's goal in mind, the second step will have you identifying the groups and individuals that are considered allies. They do not have to be groups that have directly interacted with your coalition's goal or issue, as long as they can be considered supportive. Place those groups on the chart based on how strongly they support this goal. For our hypothetical environmental group, there are a number of potential allies that they can call on. There are some members of the city council that are open to these measures, environmental groups in other cities, students at the local community college, as well as a pretty sizable church. The people on city council have a lot of power, but aren't super enthusiastic to fully backing them. The environmental groups care a lot about the issue, but as organizations based in other cities, they might not be as powerful in addressing this issue since they don't know the area as well. Despite the students and churchgoers having pretty different backgrounds and reasons for their support, both groups have the numbers that could make them quite powerful if they were pushed into supporting your coalition. Once you've mapped out these supporters, it's time to think of your opposition, the groups and individuals that don't want your coalition to succeed or have a competing goal that conflicts with your group. Just like with the supporters, you'll want to map out how strongly they oppose your coalition's goals. Obviously, the coal plant owners of this example are going to be strongly opposed to these measures, and they have a considerable amount of power with their wealth and resources. The workers of the power plant may also be likely opposed, as there might be valid concerns about job loss, though they have far fewer resources and skin in the game compared to the bosses. There may also be folks that I will call culture warriors, people who are strongly opposed to any renewable energy measures for purely partisan reasons. They are vocal, they are annoying, and they are strongly opposed. But aside from their ability to rile up a crowd, they have far less power to actually enact change in this area. Try to keep as many possible groups in mind when mapping this out, because once you have placed these groups on your graph, you will be classifying these people into 4 categories. For the sake of this example, the 4 categories will be strong allies, ambivalent opposition, and strong opposition. To be clear, we aren't putting these groups in these categories as a means of judging or testing them. This isn't a BuzzFeed test to determine how good of an ally you are. Instead, these categories should help inform how your group might go about interacting with people within these categories, with your ultimate goal of pushing them slightly closer into being strong supporters. If someone is strongly opposed to your group's goals, it's going to take a lot to turn them into a supporter of any kind. It sometimes happens, and it isn't impossible, but it often requires a lot of time and energy because they are likely to be extremely invested in opposing your group. Because of that required investment, a smarter tactic would see your group trying to make their opposition feel more ambivalent instead of pushing them to full support. For one, this requires a lot less energy and time, but it also makes it easier to achieve your group's goals if your opposition is less invested in acting against you. Likewise, it might be really hard to persuade someone into strongly supporting you if they've been mostly ambivalent and conditioned to be in opposition. But it's far more likely than the ones who are strongly opposed. Because of this, ambivalent opposition is where it's a lot more common to see people have their minds and hearts changed, since that lack of emotional investment can make someone more amiable to a different perspective. But with these two groups, it's extremely important that they not be the sole focus of your group's energy. In fact, it's often better if they aren't the main focus. It sets a bad precedent if a group is far more focused on their enemies than they are with their allies. So prioritize your energy towards the groups that already support you and figure out how you can make them stronger allies. Doing so can be as simple as getting them to attend a meeting, volunteering an extra day, bringing a friend next time. Even educating someone on an issue can be enough to make someone less ambivalent. Though however you get them to increase their support, it'll be important to make sure that it is manageable for that group or individual. We are all working with finite resources, time, and energy. And if an ally burns through all of these, that could easily result in someone leaving your supporters. Far too often, various coalitions throughout history have failed because they have either isolated themselves from support or have overextended their efforts to unsustainable levels. Though this principle works the same for your opposition. Just as your supporters can turn to opponents if they lose their resources, time, and energy, so too can an opponent turn against the opposition. A coalition map is a living document that can evolve with new information, shifts in power, and successful actions. Part of what makes this an effective exercise for organizing is how it builds from a basis of solidarity. With more people being marginalized and the state of the world growing precarious with each day, it can often feel like your group are the only ones standing up for what's right. Though my hope with this exercise is that all of the groups watching this right now are able to find the support that is out there. It can sometimes be difficult to accept that support from someone that isn't 100% aligned with your group, but if you take stock in the people that will support you, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised to find out just how many people are willing to fight for you if you let them.
So there you have it. If you would like to learn more about a mutual aid group you can support, check out 7th Gen Rising's fundraiser stream at chuff.org from August 1st through August 8th. And if you sign up for our Patreon, all proceeds for the month of August 2025 will go directly to 7th Gen Rising. Remember, the world can be a scary place, and that's why we need heroes. So until we meet again, let's all be superheroes, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Visit Henry Kathman at his channel.